Hi, everybody. It's Shannon, and it is Thursday. I think it's October 29th, but don't quote me on that. Yes, because Halloween is the 31st. And yeah, I'm really excited for our call tonight. So there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about. We have our challenge group that is starting on Monday, which is a 21-day fixed challenge. And we also have the coaching sneak peek on Monday. So honestly, just continue to invite to these challenge groups because, you know, it's the end of the month. Let's shoot for, actually, I feel like a lot of us are doing really well with Success Club this month. So I'm really hoping that we have a really high record number of the amount of people that we are helping. I really don't like calling it Success Club anymore because I feel like that just makes it seem like, I don't know. I kind of rather call it something more like Helping People's Club or, you know, the Three Lives Club. I like the sound of that better because I feel like if we keep calling it Success Club, we're going to focus more on the selling piece of things and the actual helping people thing. And I rather us not be salesperson and just go into this business of, you know, how many people that we can help change lives. I know, you know, for me, how much this opportunity has changed my life in so many ways. And, you know, I just want to share that with the rest of the world. So it's not about selling, it's about sharing. So let's see how many people that we can help over the next few days by inviting them to the challenge that's coming up on Monday. We also have a coach training on Monday, so I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping to have a few coaches in it. So let's grow this team of ours. So we can go out there and do the ripple effect to see, you know, I myself can only help just, you know, a few people, but the whole team of us can help so many more. So the more coaches that we have on this team, the more people that we can help. So I'm really excited about that. The other thing is that actually, Nikki and Kathy, I'm going to unmute you for a second because I just want to make sure that you guys... All right. Do either of you have any questions about our upcoming challenge on Monday?
No.
Sneak peek? No? How about you,
Yeah.
Kathy?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So I'll be posting... So, Kathy, if you do have anybody interested, what usually happens is that I open up the groups on Sunday night, and I'll post over the weekend to see, you know, who has challenges for the groups. So just, you know, and so I can just know how big these groups are going to be. So if you do have anybody, just let me know. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, this past weekend, Nikki, that was this past weekend, right? I can't see you. Okay.
I know. I'm hiding.
I know you're hiding because of what you're eating. No one's going to judge you. Believe me, I just had a meatball parmesan sandwich tonight.
Yes, it was this past weekend.
Yes. And I had the opportunity to finally meet Nikki in person, which I thought was amazing. And I'm so upset because we didn't take a selfie together. Like, how awful is that? But it was just so nice to finally meet Nikki in person, just like it would be so nice to meet all of you one day in person, which is why these retreats, these team, you know, summit and like, you know, our Super Saturdays, they're just so important because not only are you, I don't know, it kind of feels like a family. You know these people for so long, but you never met each other. And it just, being a part of this Beachbody family, it just, I don't know, to me, I always leave those things so inspired and just ready to go out there and help change people's lives. So our next Super Saturday is going to be January 9th. I know some places have Super Sundays, so check your local. There's always a Super Saturday that could be local to you. So I want you to go, even though you guys don't know anybody, please, because these are just so important. There's always training tips. It's just, you know, meeting other Beachbody coaches, and you just I don't know, you just feel like you're part of such a wonderful, positive community. So highly recommend that. So anyway, so Nikki and I went to this retreat this past weekend, which was amazing. And part of it was on Saturday, we spent the day listening to the video that I posted in our team page from Brian Tracy. And I got to tell you, there were so many aha moments in this training that we did with him that everything just made so much sense to me. So I want to try and communicate that to you, but of course, I'm not going to say it as well as Brian Tracy did. So I do recommend that you guys use this month to make that your personal development. Listen to 10 minutes a day or however much time you have in a day on the way to a doctor's appointment, or while you're cleaning your house, or stick your earbuds in and just listen, because honestly it just makes so much sense. And he's not Beachbody related. He's just just telling you about sales in general. So I basically wanted to take back I wanted to share with you a lot of the notes that I took, and then I thought maybe Nikki, you could share some things that, wait, I'm going to mute. Okay, and then maybe Nikki, that you can share some of your takeaways and your aha moments that you had from the past weekend. Actually, Nikki, do you mind if we start with you real quick?
Sure. Let me grab my notebook.
Okay.
All right. Well, the one big thing that I took away was just the whole confidence and the self-worth thing that he was talking about, because I struggle with that. Like, I don't struggle with putting on the show of it for everyone, but like actually believing it. And I think that that's helping, like, even with the rejections I've been getting, and like turning those into positive things instead of looking at it as a bad thing has helped me to not just accept it, but to like kind of push back a little bit or ask more questions and not just say, okay, they said no, then, they don't want to do it. So,
yeah. What's so funny, because tonight I thought of that exactly, because out of nowhere, and I forgot I wanted to share this with you guys too, but out of nowhere, my brother's friend, whatever, that I barely know, messaged me about T25 and was wondering about price or whatever. And so I told him, I said, but if you, order through me, if you're interested in Shakeology, it's cheaper when you buy them together. And he just wrote back, I'm not interested in Shakeology. I'm like, and he wouldn't share his goals with me either. So I was like, I understand. I was again. So instead of stopping right there, which a lot of people would have, as soon as he said, no, I'm not interested, I just simply said, I was against it too. I understand, because I was against it too in the beginning, because I thought it was just another weight loss shake, but it's not. It's a nutrition shake. And I said, and it has so many health benefits, so it depends on what you're looking for. And I explained in a little bit, and I said, if you're interested in learning more, just let me know. And I didn't push it. When I gave him the link to buy T25, he bought the challenge pack. Like,
that's so funny.
Wow. So if I never would have taken that extra step, like, that wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? So you're absolutely right, Nikki.
The other thing that I really, it was kind of from the retreat, but not really. I was listening to a Darren Hardy seminar on my way down there. And like the one thing he said was, and I actually think that Brian Tracy said it too. They repeated a lot of the same things. So it was kind of cool. Like, figure out how much you want to make a year, and then like divide that between how much you work. And so whatever that comes out to, then that's like your dollar per hour amount. And so like whenever you're doing something, you need to think like say if I want to make $25 an hour, because that's just that would be like my ultimate goal, eventually to make that much, working a 40-hour work week. So then I need to think when I'm working, okay, is the activity I'm doing would you pay someone $25 an hour to do this? And if not, you need to stop doing it and do whatever would make you do that. Like, I get distracted so easily. Yes. So it definitely like helps to constantly be thinking that in the back of my head. Like, is this really worth, $25. Like, do I need to, clear this area of my desk or put this piece of paper over here, like right at this moment? So that was
exactly. I love that. You're absolutely right. Because every time you're working your business, you should be actually working it. And would I pay you $25 an hour to clean your desk? It just, right.
And then I think there was one more. There was so many, but I'm just trying to choose like my favorite. Oh, the other one was about like making me realize, because I sometimes, especially when I get in the crunch, like now, like yesterday I was at SC4 and it's like getting close to the end of the month and I turn on panic mode, which is not a good mode for me. And so like remembering when he said people buy for their reasons, not for our reasons. And we need to figure out what their reason is. Like, obviously we want to help and we want to sell a challenge pack. But obviously they could care less about buying a challenge pack. Like that doesn't mean that's not their reason for signing up with you. So that was like key, because I always, when I get into like that panic mode, which is why I'm going to hit SC5 by the 5th next month, because I go in panic mode and I'm just like straight to the point. Like I'm not even asking them questions. I'm like shoving it down their throat, like buy this now. And I hate that. So
yes, you're absolutely right. And that's the same as when you get coaches too. Like you can't push your goals on your clients or your coaches, or you know what I mean? It's what's best for them. You know what I mean? And you're absolutely right. Like we can't push a product on somebody. Number one, if they aren't ready. Number two, if you just don't want to come off as a salesperson, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right. Yep. And
then I guess the last thing, I'm still working on this because I'm not sure how I'm going to word it. Sorry. But when he was saying like the wording and how we say something. So like I was trying to figure out a way of like how we can word selling a challenge pack. Cause he was talking about like a program or whatever, where he was saying, yeah, you're going to spend $350 on the program, but you're going to get $1,000 more sales because of it. So that's how he was like wording it to sell that product. So I'm trying to figure out a way of like, how do we word the challenge pack? Because obviously they're not going to get a dollar amount out of spending that. It's going to have to relate to their health or something like that to make it, to help add that value.
I think you basically need to find out their why, find out their goals, and then for each person it's going to be different. And you just spin that package in a way of how it's going to benefit them and their goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was talking to this one lady tonight about who, again, I wanted to share, consistency is key. So this lady, Lisa, I messaged her. She sent me a friend request through one of my ads on Facebook, never responded to my messages. I sent her maybe about 5 messages over the course of time of me, I guess, being friends with her, because I looked back. And then on my post the other night, I said, if you're interested in this challenge, please like this post, comment below, or message me. So she liked the post. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to send her out a message to her. Hi, how are you? And she actually messaged me back. And I said to her, great. I was like, the reason why I reached out to you is because I saw that you liked my post the other night about my upcoming health and fitness challenge. Do you have any health and fitness goals? And she ended up buying a challenge pack for me. So this is a girl who's never once responded back to me, but yet through my consistency of posting on Facebook, sharing my story, she knew I was legit and felt comfortable to finally she was ready. And I got to tell you, she was at the point that if I sold her a $500 package and on a $140 package, she would have bought it because she's ready. So that just proves to you how consistency is key. And I'm going to talk about rejection a little bit, but don't take it personal when somebody doesn't message you back, because they are following you, they are watching you, they're just not ready to join you. So, but what did you just say, Nikki? I just got lost in my.
Oh, I was talking about wording, the way we word the challenge back.
Right. So she was telling me about this, how, she, usually stays on a program for 3 days and then quits. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I know exactly how you feel. You know what I mean? And I told her what really, helped me was the challenge groups. It just gave me the support I was like that I needed. So I turned it around on how much what I was offering was benefiting her. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like another thing that we talked about was how she, about how she wanted to lose weight. So, I went through how, my whole spiel about how weight loss is 80% proper nutrition. And this challenge will teach you, I didn't mention the 21-day fix or Shakeology, but I said that this challenge is going to teach you how to fuel your body properly to help promote weight loss. So it's just spinning it in a way that fits within their health and fitness goals, I feel. Do you feel like that's what he's saying, or do you think that, like...
No, I agree. And it had to do, like, same thing, like, with what Brian Tracy was saying, like, figuring out their hot button.
Yes.
And, like, once you have that, then keying it in there.
Yes.
Because it's a little tricky for us because everyone's weight loss goal is different. It's not like you're selling another kind of, like a computer or I don't know, that's not really a good example because there's lots of different kinds of computers, but something like a couch. Like, everyone's pretty much going to use the couch for the same reason, like to sit on it. So you could use the same wording for every person because they're buying a couch for the same function. Whereas with us, you got to find that hot button because it's going to be different for each person.
Every goal
Some
is
people
different.
don't need weight loss. They just need the nutrition. So
and somebody going to the gym isn't going to need a workout program, but yet maybe they'll benefit from, the Shakeology, so it all depends on what your goals are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was there anything else that you wanted to add? Any,
No.
Okay. All right. So I have a ton of takeaways that I want to share with everybody. So my biggest aha, not my biggest, but what was just really, I don't even know how to word it. So when on the way down there, Kathleen Petula, my coach, and we drove together. And I was telling her on the way down there that I feel like I limit myself every single month. I feel like, once I reach my goal of whatever it is of helping 5 people and to hit SC10, like I stop going for more. And I'm like, why do I do that when I can reach Success Club 20? I can possibly reach Success Club 30. Like, why am I limiting myself to like a certain amount? And it's so funny because like one of the first things that Brian Tracy talked about is just that. So he says that basically in sales in general, there's no income thermostat. Like, you can, sky's the limit. And we all know that. It's so possible within just a couple years to make, hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, which is huge. But what is limiting us? Us. And he says that it's all about how we think about ourselves and our own self-concept and confidence. So if you think you're only worth, say, $20,000 a year, that's all you're going to make. If you believe that you're worth a few $100,000 a year, you're going to go for that. You're going to strive for that. So it's, and Kathleen had the same aha moment during this because she can't get past what she made as a social worker. And that's because she's limiting herself and thinking like that's all she's worth, where if we believed in ourselves and we thought we were worth much more as a person, then we would go bigger. So it is, let me just read what I wrote here. So if you have these self-limiting beliefs, you are going to perform poorly. A person who likes themselves and believes in themselves will do better. And it will determine how successful you are as a coach. Fear of failing holds us back more than anything in life, which I completely agree. And so he talked about, the fear of rejection. We're all fearful of rejection, right? So he said that when you're in this business, 80% of the people are going to say no. So when you're talking to somebody, expect that, and because there's such a high rejection rate, there is a tremendous turnover rate in sales in general, because the people can't handle the rejection, and the biggest dropout rate is within the first 90 days. And that's so true. And that's the same in this business, that a lot of new coaches don't make it past 90 days because of the rejections they get. That's why in the new coach trainings, I always stress that you are going to get rejections, and it's nothing personal. And he says, do not take it personal, because when they say no, it means something else. It has nothing to do with you. Go ahead, Nikki. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, just real quick, because I'm reading this book called Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell, which I thought now would be a good time to read it since it's my first year in network marketing.
Yes.
But anyways, one of the 3 quick things that he said is making rejection your partner, not your enemy, because it's only going to make you better. So don't look at it as a negative thing. But he said that most people don't make it past a year. But he said pretty much the key to being successful in network marketing is outlasting everyone else, because so many people are going to quit. And he said, if you could stick it out for 10 years, which is way less than most people will stay at the average career job, that 90% of people will be more wealthy than they ever thought that they could be, or that they could have made in their regular career. Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, I actually, on last week's team call, I explained what Jeff Hill had said at one of the meetings, and it just totally hit home with me. He said that people are willing to stay in a job for 40 years, so retirement, in a job that they are getting paid less than what they should be, and that they're not 100% happy with, but yet they won't last and won't be consistent in the 2 to 5 years that it takes to be successful in this business.
Pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very exciting to know the amount of the amount of money that we can make, but just think of how many lives that we can change in that process. You know what I mean? It's just so rewarding. So the successful people, basically, if you didn't have the fear of rejection, you will keep going and you will be successful. People who succeed get past that rejection and don't take it personally. And when they say, other thing that I thought was so true is that when they say, oh, let me think about it, they're not going to think about it. And, when they say, let's go ask, I have to go ask my husband, there's usually another reason for it. You know what I mean? Or they end up not asking their husband. So that's where follow-up is huge. Or, that's just a way of putting us off or whatever. So he also said that the sale takes place after the 5th call. So 50%. So it takes at least 5 conversations for a person to say yes to us finally. And he says 50% of the salespeople make 5 or less calls. So they never try enough to get that person to say yes, basically. Does that make sense? Okay. And he said that when a person says no, it's not a no to us. They're not saying no to who we are or something that we said. They're saying no for another reason. It's not personal. So when we hear these no's, we then start making excuses. And when we start making excuses, we don't want to do the work. We don't want to try anymore. And we put off inviting because of that fear of failure and rejection. So I feel like that's where all this personal development, that's why it's one of the 3 vital behaviors, because they're very smart in this business, the creators of Beachbody, because they know how hard sales can be. So, personal development is key to improve our self-esteem, to understand, the whole, what's the word? Just to help improve our self-esteem, I guess, So, and again, what Nikki was saying earlier, it's so important. The friendship factor is important. A person will not buy from you unless they have confidence that you are their friend. So just imagine if you're buying a car, or even like tonight, my husband and I went to Home Depot to look at, carpet and tile, whatever. And he just told me, when we left the store, he said, gosh, that salesman was so annoying. Like, we're not going to want to go there and buy from him because we just didn't feel it. You know what I mean? So like, if a person doesn't like you, and they don't feel like you care, and they don't feel like you're their friend, they're not going to put the trust in you and come to you to buy from you. So, and going back to what Nikki said earlier, it's about building that friendship and building that bind with them. So like, and understanding their goals, and that and have them believe, which is true, that we truly want to help them. It's not just about selling them a product and making money. It's about helping somebody. So, especially if they don't know you, that bond is going to take longer to develop than, somebody that is already on your warm market that you already know. So you have to be patient and develop these friendships. And the more friendships that you form, the more you're setting yourself up for success in the future. Like Kathy is on this call right now, and we've had no connection before, but yet, she's here now, and she's a coach, and she's doing awesome in our, challenges that we've had, which I'm so proud of you, Kathy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So it's all about the comfort level and showing that, we actually do care about them. So it's about creating that. And it may take more than 5 conversations, and it may take them saying no 5 times to you, but yet you not giving up on them, and then being like, oh my God, she actually does care. She's still following up with me, even though I said no to her challenge 5 months ago. You know what I mean? So it's all about building that friendship. Let me see what else was there. Okay. Do either of you have any questions so far?
No.
No.
Okay. So if you go into this business and you said nothing, if you say to yourself, I am not going to let anybody stop me from succeeding in this business, no amount of no's and no amount of rejections are going to make me quit, you will go so far. So change your mentality right now. If you're like, oh my God, I had 50 people tell me no in one day. I had 5 coaches drop from my team in one day. Like, keep going. Like, don't let that prevent you from, moving forward and succeeding, because guess what? There's people out there that, are going to want your help, and there's people out there that are going to need your help, and you just got to develop those friendships with them and, want to help them and gain their trust in you. And by doing that, it's by posting, it's by showing that you're going to do this and not give up. I'm still around, 2 years into this business by, posting consistently, and people are coming to me now. It's so funny because every single month, like I start at SC0 just like everybody else. And every single month I hate seeing that 0. And, I just, I get very nervous, but every single month, like I can do it. You know what I mean? And I'm going to change my mentality on it. And you just got to continue to push through, because I want each and every one of you to succeed. And we are all going to succeed in this business. You just have to believe. It's all about the belief in yourself. And if you do not have the belief in yourself, you're not going to go far. So please do things to develop who you are, like in personal development. Read a book on confidence. Read a book on, network marketing and how to succeed. Please listen to this Brian Tracy thing, because there's so many things that were really helpful that I'm not going to have the time to go through all of it tonight, because we're going to get kicked off in less than 10 minutes. But he talks about like the art of closing. I know some of us have a really hard time with closing the deal, right? And he talked about that, and he talked about how to handle rejections. So, and maybe each week I'll even bring up some of the things that, I was like, wow, that's so true. Okay. Do you guys have any questions on anything I said? I know, Kathy, you're new, so this is all really, new to you, but.
I'm just taking notes, but no questions so far. Actually, I had a question, but it sounds like what you're saying, but I heard it in a video that I was watching earlier.
Uh-huh.
What is the Go for No?
Go for No is actually a book that I personally have actually never read it, but I basically understand the concept and recommend everybody else to read it. Basically, you want the no's, because the more no's you get, the no's in this business are going to turn into yeses eventually. That no usually means something else. It could be they're just not ready to make a big life change on, for a health and fitness journey. Their no could mean that they're scared of failing. Their no could mean that they just don't understand the value of what we're selling yet. It's never really that you're going to get 9 times out of 10, I can't afford it. And for maybe a small percentage of people that can be true, but I got to tell you, where there's a will, there's a way. As you know, Kathy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So nobody can make excuses for you. So, so it just means that they're not ready right now. So when you hear a no, that means that one day that it will turn into yeses. So the more no's that you get right now, the more yeses you're going to receive in the future. So they say go for the no, because one day those no's will turn into yeses. So they may not be ready now. They may be ready in a month or two. They may be ready in a year from now. But when they're ready, if you continue to stay consistent with your posting and your conversations with them and show that you care, they will come back to you when they are ready.
Okay.
Okay. Like I always say, that this is not a business just for today. It's a business forever. So it's basically setting yourself up for success for future months. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Good. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay. Good. Okay, so the one last thing, and I know that I've talked about this before, is, why do people buy from us? And wait a minute, I said that wrong. Okay. So it's very, like what Nikki mentioned earlier, that it's so important for us to determine their needs, why they are coming to us, or why they're interested in this health and fitness journey. And everybody's needs are going to be different. So it's important for us to identify their needs, to have an understanding of how our products will work for them, because not everybody has the same needs. Not everybody is going to, come into this for weight loss. That may have been my goal, but that may not be somebody else's goal who's already fit, but yet unhealthy. You know what I mean? So maybe the 21-day fix isn't the best program for them, but maybe if they want to become healthy and learn how to eat clean and start an exercise program, maybe we'll talk to them about a different program. But the 21-day fix is, I think, a great program for weight loss and stuff like that. So it's so important to figure out what their needs are. If they aren't interested in the product, that means they aren't interested in what it can do for them. They don't know what it can do for them. people buy benefits. So we have to figure out what benefits are these people willing to pay for. Is it good health? Is it feeling better about themselves? Is it, you know, being able to fit into a size 7 jeans? Is it, you know what I mean? So what are the benefits that are willing to pay for? You know, the conversation earlier that I had with the girl when I told her it was $140, she's like, you know, I was hoping not to spend that much, but she's like, I'm going to do it anyway. And I said, well, you can't really put a price on, I said, what did I say? Something about you can't put a price on health. I said, health and feeling good about yourself to me are priceless. And she's like, you know what? You're absolutely right. So successful salespeople are like counselors. We're very good listeners. They need a friend to advise them on the best choices that are good for them, not for us, for them. And they don't want to be sold on a product. You know, what is it about this that's going to help them and help them feel better about themselves and reach their goals? Does that make sense? So again, it's, you ever buy a car with somebody, you know, I wish I can think of an example. Oh, we're going to get cut off in 3 minutes, but guy, you're talking to like somebody at like a car dealership, and they really seem like your friend, and they're trying to really get you the best deal, and you're like, gosh, I really like this guy. I really trust him. I'm just going to go for it. Well, that's the kind of relationship that, you know, that we want to build. We want them to understand that we're their friend, which for me is very true. I'm very sincere, and with everything that I say, it's not just about selling, it's about friendships too. I've become friends with so many wonderful people since I started this. It's amazing. But anyway, so they have to feel comfortable with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. There's so much more. But the more the spotlight is on them, the more successful you are. So again, it's about them. The conversation is about them, you know. So, all right, we're going to get kicked off in 1 minute and 45 seconds. So I guess I'll just pick up next week about everything. But again, we have our challenge starting on Monday. So it's Thursday. It's the end of the month. If you're not at Success Club yet, please just take these next few days and reach for it, and believe in yourself. Again, it goes back to believe in yourself that you can do it. You just have to believe and just have to work for it. So let's just go out there and change lives and help people feel good about themselves. We can do it, ladies, right?
Yes.
All right, good. All right, so just invite everybody you know, and good luck. If you guys have any questions, let me know, okay?
All righty.
All right, have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.